Yeah, sign into the console.
The content and the account for the whole year is going to be free, right?
Yeah, yeah. So if it's a brand new account, you just created it, add your credit card and everything. It's a free tier for most services. It's good. It's very good for experimenting.
Okay, so.
All right, you're logged in.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And I think the first thing we did here was basically go ahead and create some users and groups in IAM. IAM is there. I think it stands for Identity and Access Management.
So I found out you go to service, and it should be somewhere over here, but I don't see it right now.
Just type in IAM. So that's the easiest way of finding it.
Yeah, right. It's right here.
We'll try and make the machine do as much as possible.
Right. Okay, so we should start creating a group or user first.
Create a well, either way is fine, because when you create a user, you're gonna get the option to create a group and then add the user to the group.
Okay. So create a group, and instead we create a G
admin. Yeah, I think that's a convention we talked about.
Right.
All right. Now, so this is a place where you get to attach permissions to that user, to that group, people who belong to that group. And obviously, you can override all of these at the user level. Meaning, when you create a user, you say, well, you inherit all the group permissions, but then this user has specific other permissions, right?
Right.
So you can do all that just like object-oriented programming.
I see.
So yeah, so this is an admin user. We'll just say administrator access. Give that person full administrator access.
Right.
Now the idea is that you're never ever going to do anything with the root account. Don't log, because that's attached to your credit card. But the root account can cancel this account. But this account has power to do pretty much anything, until the root account cancels it.
I see.
So you don't want to download access keys for this account. What do you do download access keys for? So when you create a particular task or something that needs to happen,
I see.
And you'll have roles that this entity has to play in order for that thing to happen, right?
Right.
So then you would give the very basic level of permission to that entity or to that role.
Right.
And then you basically give the least amount of permissions, and they come knocking on your door and say, hey, actually, I still can't query the database. Then you go in and inch it up a bit by bit. The idea is that you don't give out any more than you have to, not because you're stingy, but that's the way to prevent the most problems.
Yeah, and it's kind of like resource friendly if we do that, right?
Because
we don't waste resource doing extra.
Yeah,
things.
Very resource friendly, I think. Yeah. I think it's a lazy approach, really, right?
Yeah.
Just, you don't have to deal with a lot of stuff.
Right. So for now, we just take
yeah. Well, so this guy has administrative access, but he or she is not allowed to. You don't download access keys.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So next step, and we create a group. Right. So we have a group set up. Now we create a user, I guess.
Yeah. Create the user.
Right. And it was
u_admin.
Okay.
So you're going to create an admin user, add that user to the admin group, give them both programmatic and management console.
Right.
Actually, this is an admin user, right?
Yeah.
Just for now, just restrict them to management console, no programmatic access.
And it should just put out some password.
Yeah. So create a password, a custom one. For the purposes of demo.
It make me add a tag, so it's just
to the user.
Yeah.
Just name. Yeah. All right. No. So typically it's a name value, just like a hash table.
Oh.
So say name, and then for the value you can say has full admin privileges, but only through the console. No. Just the name of the key is name.
Oh. Okay.
No, the name means it has to be you admin, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Description maybe.
Right.
No. I'm saying make the key description. And then the value could be, this user has admin privileges and can do everything, but only through the console. Admin user only through the console. It's just some kind of descriptive tag. Yeah, go ahead.
And we search.
So All right. So and he or she's been added to the following groups already. He's a member of GAdmin.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. So you've created the user. That's fine. Now you can actually log in as this user, but for the purposes of this demo, what we'll do is you just go ahead. You're going to delete this account, this whole thing, very soon, right?
Right.
So all we need to do is simply let's go ahead and fire up an EC2 instance. We'll do a Linux instance. I think Daniel and a couple of other people in the forums, they're trying to get familiar with the Windows environment. So hopefully someone else can do a video of that and post it. But we'll do a Linux instance right now. Okay. All right. So go to the dashboard and go to the EC2 management console. And mind you, now we're firing off an EC2 instance as the root user, not even as the admin user, because I don't remember, I don't believe we logged out and logged back in as someone else. We're still the root user, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're actually doing stuff as the root user, but eventually we won't. This is not good practice. Okay, all right.
Right. So,
all right, so you have 0 running instances. Now, it's a funny thing. Region is North California. I think is that Oregon or I think US West 2 is a new one. Yeah, that's the new one, I think. It's supposed to have new features. I haven't discovered any new features yet, but this is supposed to be fast. But sometimes when you actually want to try and do something reasonably far out to see what's the worst case behavior, you can pick something out here too. So let's just go with US West for now.
Yeah. And should launch.
Yeah, so we can launch an instance right now. You can click that. Okay, all right, let's just pick the first one. That's fine. Okay, now, it's a T2 micro, and that's the only one that's eligible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go ahead. So it's got one vCPU. Oh, and Nano also has one vCPU. I thought it was half a vCPU before. Okay, so it's a half a gig of memory.
Right.
Okay, so you're going to get a one gig RAM and one vCPU. And I bet it'll have, I think it has 8 gigabytes of block storage attached to it. EBS is block storage. And you can basically think of it as a hard disk. It's a block device.
Right.
And when it's attached to your operating system, it will appear in the partitions and in the set of disks, and you can attach it to a disk, mount it as a disk, and so on and so forth, just like you would treat any other disk. So we'll see very soon. Okay. So all right. So you can configure the instance details. Now here, now we don't have to change it. We haven't talked about virtual private clouds yet. So you get assigned a default VPC by Amazon. Every time you fire up an instance or a resource, it goes inside of some private network.
Right.
So that is your default. It's been assigned by Amazon. So that's that number over there. So we haven't created our own yet. So we'll let everything go inside the VPC.
I see.
Now the idea with the VPC is that anything you do inside your VPC, it's like Las Vegas. So everything that happens in the VPC stays in the VPC. Nothing leaves it. There's only 2 ways it can leave it. If you have a gateway attached to the VPC, and machines and resources inside of the VPC know that in order to get to the outside world, they need to route their traffic through that gateway.
Right.
So that's one way they can get out. The other way is, well, I think if you have a public IP address, you are pretty much announcing to the world that they can connect you directly as long as the SSH port is open in the gateway. So this, there's 2 ways, I think. Okay, but anyway, we'll come back to that later. So all right, so it's in the default VPC, default subnets, and so on and so forth. Yeah, enable, that one, disable. Okay, all right. Now when it launches, it will not have a public-facing IP. So, but we'll still go ahead and open up the SSH and all these other ports because we're going to do this step by step. Okay, hit next storage, add storage. We'll just go with 8 gigabytes because, the operating system and everything on the machine will take up probably 3 to 4 gig. You'll still have 4 gig on that machine, which, it's plenty of space to run a web server. Honestly, unless you're serving like a movie or something. Okay, all right, so we'll go with that. And it's EBS, so, we just have to make sure it's backed up and everything before you terminate the instance. All right, so go ahead, add tags. You can add a tag here, but it's an experiment. So add a tag, names, and call it, a dummy machine we're playing around with or something like that. No, name. Your key is the key is name, because the convention is that any resource you can look up a key called name,
Right.
or you can script it or something like that. Go and kill everything that has a name, Henry V. Something like that. Okay.
Right. Oh yeah. Here's the security.
Oh yeah. Okay. So add rule for HTTP. All right. HTTP. Yeah, I think those two are fine.
Right. So
yeah, go ahead. T2 micro. Yeah, these three. So yeah, it gets into your default VPC. There you go. You can go ahead and launch it.
And we already know the tag.
Oh, yeah. You want to create a key pair. So create a brand new key pair. And then where it says, don't choose an existing key pair, yeah, create a brand new key pair. Okay, so name it, you can call it dummy, or you can delete it later, right? You just call it a dummy.
We should download it. Right. And
so it'll just download your key to your download folder.
Right, it's already downloaded.
It's already done it?
Yep, and now we launch.
Yeah, you can launch it.
So next we have.
So let's go to budgets. Go to budgets. Okay. Now here's where we're going to run into a little issue because of notification. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Set up your budget. Yeah. And give it a name. My monthly tracker or something like that. Expense tracker. Yeah. All right. All right. Period. Monthly. Yeah. Recurring. Yeah. Okay. And then you want a budget amount. Yeah. Okay. So you want to spend, I don't know, $100 or $10. Yeah. $10 a month. Okay. That's fine. You can get everything you want. And then you configure the alerts.
Right.
Now for the alert, you could. All right, so when you get 80%, right? So you can change the percentage if you want. So when you spend $5, right? Yeah, 50%. No.
Yeah, just all right.
Yeah, okay, of actual cost, not when you exceed 50%. If you spend $5, you would get emailed. Yeah, okay, so it has one contact. It will send you an email.
Right. So.
All right, so that's your budget. So now you can go ahead and you can try really, really hard. I think there's a movie, you got to spend $1 million. But it's very hard to blow this unless you're doing some really heavy duty shit. And I don't think we're planning to do that, right? In the 12 weeks.
No.
Yeah. So you want to go to EC2. And then you should find your machine already running now. One running instance, right? So yeah. There you go. So if you click on that, yeah, and then it doesn't have a public IP, right? So does it have a public IP? No, it only have yeah, great. So you need to get a public IP, and that's the only way you can connect to this machine. So let's go to, I think somewhere in here you'll find EIP or Elastic IPs. Yeah, there you go. There, that one. All right. So get an address. Okay. All right. So that's what you got. You can close it. You don't have to copy it. Don't worry. You close it. Now you have an IP. It's given you an IP. You have to attach it to that machine. So go back to that machine. Oh no, I think it's here. So here, so actions, under actions, associated. Yeah. All right. That's okay. Yeah. I think no, that's fine. Leave everything else. So all you're saying is that this instance you want to attach that IP address that you just got.
Right.
So do it. Yeah. Okay, so go to your instances.
Oh, instance.
Yeah, I think here you go. That one. Now we can maximize this window a bit. Pull it up a bit. Grab those circles and pull it up. The dots in the middle and pull it up a bit. Okay. All right. There you go. So it's got a public IP. Right? So you can try, there's a user called EC2-user already set up, and that user is in the sudoers file, which means that user can run any command of their choosing as root. Right. But they can just do willy-nilly things, but they have to prefix it with sudo. meaning it will be audited and everything, right? So SSH, no, this is your machine, this is your laptop. You need to get to that machine,
Oh,
right? So did you copy that? So go to the
yeah, I did copy.
You got the IP address?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to do SSH -I. You may need to maximize the window a bit, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, okay. -I and space, and then that download PM file. I don't know, you can have it shift, yeah. Slash, no, slash, downloads capital D, capital I. Okay, all right. So that's the key we want to use.
Right.
And to get to that machine. So say EC2 hyphen user. No, I think it's all lowercase.
Oh. And
No, hyphen user. No, hyphen, dash. User at that, no, at. Yeah, at, and then that thing that you just copied. I think command. Yeah, okay. So you want to go to the IP. You can also go to the domain name that Amazon's given you. All right, hit enter. Yeah, I say yes. Okay.
right.
All right, so it says that your dummy key.pem is readable by the whole world, right? And it's your private key. So it says I won't connect to that machine with that key. So just change the permissions to 400 on that file. So it's a chmod, mod, no, mod space 400. 400 means just 400. So 400 means the 4 is for me, the 0 is for the group, and the other 0 is for everybody else.
Right.
And the 4 for me is binary 4, 100.
Oh yeah, right.
Right? 100 means I can read the file, but 0 and 0 say I can't write to the file and I can execute the file. So that's basically it. 111, right? So it's
Yeah.
3 bits. And so binary 4 is 100. There you go. Everybody who does CS2A will be able to do
Yeah, right.
permissions well. That's kind of cool. All right, good. All right, CH4, that file.
Right.
Enter.
Right.
So now, so that's the right permission. So if you now SSH, get the previous command back. Right, you just up arrow a couple of times, you'll get the command. There you go. Now that'll work. There you go. You're logged in.
Yeah.
Right? Now you do a command called uptime. It'll tell you how long this machine has been running. So it's been running for 19 minutes. Right? You can also do top. Top gives you a list of all the processes and all the other data, how much memory it uses, and all kinds of, right?
Right.
And it's kind of cool. You can also pipe top to some script that you have and get all that information, which you otherwise have to use, system calls and nonsense. Okay, so you can quit out of top by hitting Q. Q.
Wait.
Yeah. Okay. So log out of the machine for a sec.
How do you?
Oh, exit or Control D. Control D means end of file, right? Or if you up arrow a couple of times, hopefully that's the command, right?
Right.
So, but let's not go to the IP address. Let's go to the domain name, right? So user at. So yeah, okay. Now go back to that command. Is it Command Tab? Go to that AWS window. There you go, and get the domain name. There's a clip to clipboard thing. Not that one. That's the IP.
Oh, this
there
one?
you go.
Right.
Now you should be able to connect to this guy too. It's exactly the same, right? So now it should say like 22 minutes. You have, uptime, it'll say 22 minutes. I hope.
21.
Okay, all
Close.
right, I'm a little ahead. All right, cool. So there you go. So now we're logged into the machine. Now, technically, you should be able to go to a Chrome browser or Safari browser and punch in the host name. And you should be able to see the web page served by this machine, right? So let's try it. Any browser, open a tab, and then paste your domain name right there, okay, and HTTP. But it can't be reached because you're not running a web server yet.
Right.
All right, so let's go ahead and run a web server thing. Okay, all right. So the first thing you want to do is just install HTTPD, which is HTTP daemon. All right, it's always going to live on this machine, and we'll configure it so that it starts up every time this machine is is running. Right. So let's say I think the way to install HTTP web server on Linux, on the flavor of Linux that Amazon has given us, is through a command called yum. Okay, I think it's so the command is sudo make me root yum install yum space install and and then space HTTPD. All right, good. Yeah, go ahead and solve. Okay, so it's installed.
Right.
The web server is installed, but it's not running. So let's make sure it's running. And also, I want to make sure that it automatically runs every time your machine boots up, right? So there is a command that does that. And it's funny, right? Eventually, maybe I don't know how to make this easier to remember. I'll just say what it is, and I'll try and figure out some way to make this easier. Okay, check sudo check, space check config, which is spelled CHKCONFIG, FIG,
Right.
space HTTPD space on. Okay, so that is going to change some configuration. Yeah, enter. Okay, so it changes the configuration so that the next time someone boots up your machine, you don't have to do a manual start like we're going to do now. So now you can start it up in sudo HTTPD service HTTPD space start. That's it. Okay, so now your daemon is running, and if someone comes in and kills your machine and restarts it, it'll restart again.
Right.
Right? And then you can use a check config command to off, to switch it off also, just exactly the same way. And then you can use a service command to stop HTTPD or restart it also. This is, I think it also understands restart.
Right.
Okay, now let's make sure it's actually running. So go back to your Chrome browser and see if that page loads. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, now go ahead, create an index.html file.
And how?
Just go back to your terminal. Okay, yeah, there you go. So your document root is var html. So no, hang on. So let's change into that directory. So if you say pwd, that's your present working directory, right? Pwd. I don't know. These arcane. It's not even worth remembering, right? So okay. So this is your home directory.
Right.
Right. But this is a directory structure in there. So I want to go to a directory called cd. CD is change directory, right? Space. Now say start from the root directory, which is /. Forward slash.
Oh.
No, slash. Yeah, space slash. Yeah, okay. Now var, var, that's a hierarchy, right? www, which lots of people say dub. Slash. You got the slash right. Here. Dub slash HTML. Okay, so this directory is where your entire web presence is going to be served from, as far as HTTPD is concerned.
Right.
Right? So you're changing into that directory. So change into there. Just enter. So it's a change into that directory. Now that is your directory. So the prompt shows you that.
Yeah,
right? Now you can do an ls-la, ls space dash la to show me everything in this directory. It says there is absolutely nothing in this directory. That's why HTTPD sees nothing in this directory and generates that artificial page for you.
Right.
So that's live. Now let's go ahead and create an index.html in here that you will actually start serving people, right? So create a file called index.html. Do you know how to create a file on Linux? Okay. So here's what we can do. Or you are, just do. Hang on. What's the best way to do it? Okay. Turn yourself into root for a second. So just say turn, sudo su space dash. Right. This is actually bad practice. I don't know. We should get this on the video, but we'll do it. Okay. But don't do this, guys. Okay. Right now because we're stuck for time and ideas. Okay. All right. So now pwd, make sure find out which directory you're in. You're in /root, right? So go back to that directory that we were in, var www, cd space /var /www/html. Okay, now do an ls-la, make sure everything is fine, and pwd is shows you that you're in the right place. Now you can create a file here called index.html. So what we're going to do is it's very unusual, but we're going to try and do this, and it's really strange. We're going to fire up a cat command, and cat is going to read from the keyboard, the standard input, and it's going to write to the console. But we're going to capture everything in the console and stick it in a file. And the syntax to do it is cat space greater than, yeah, index.html. Okay, so now when you press enter, everything you start typing is going to go into that file, right? And I don't know if we'll have backspace privileges, but we'll give it a shot, okay? All right. All right, say, hi, CS55 guys. This is Troy and Larry and Co. We're trying to get to you, get a video to you, right? Say something like that here. Type it in. Oh, the backspace works, so this is kind of cool.
Right.
Okay. All right. Enter. No, Command D to end. Say that's the end of file. No, Control D. I'm sorry. All right. So cat the file now. Just cat index.html. Make sure it's there. No, not greater than. You don't want to overwrite it again, right? So now that will basically say what that file I'm going to dump it on screen.
Right.
Right. Enter. That's what you have in that file. Now, if you go to your browser, you should see that too. Just reload.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that's cool. I think that's all we got to do in class. We'll do this again today. And I think in today's class, all I'm trying to do is, I think some people told me it went too fast. So I'm going to try and make sure that everybody is on the same page here and get to index.html and they start poking around with it and try and fiddle around with it. And I'm going to introduce the first request. I'm almost done. This is go to CS. No, here, just on the same window. But remember to kill the account and everything later. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
All right. It's fine. You can continue recording. So it's a slash, I think /C. This is where I'm developing right now. So enter. Okay. So our class. So I think our first quest is going to be a tadpole dancing. Okay. So type in a tadpole dancing. Tadpole.
Oh.
Not tadpole dancing. Okay, now I think so the spec the quest I'm going to try and set for you guys is to basically set up a Linux instance and a home page, and then some hidden files from your student ID and MD5 sum and so on and so forth. And I'll describe these in the spec, and that will be hidden behind your thing, right? And you drag and drop your URL in here, and then I can go away and test it. And also, you got to set me up with a public, I'll give you a public key, so that I should be able to log into your instance and do some things, and I can do that automatically from my script.
Right.
So I think it's almost there. So I just need to wire up some bits of the back end, and we're ready to go. I mean, hopefully tomorrow I'll get the quest in your hands. No, not tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow evening. After my class, and there's a couple of meetings, but. Hopefully, by Wednesday I'll have the quest in your hands.
Right.
So that will be your, week 2, and then I'll try and do more like this after that. Maybe 5 or 6 different ones.
Right. So are we good with?
I think we're good, right?
Right.